So let's go to this topic today. We've done the methods of preparation of aldehydes and ketones. We've done the physical properties of aldehydes and ketones. We also did those methods of preparation by which only aldehydes can be prepared and those methods of preparation by which only ketones can be prepared. So we're going to go to chemical properties over here. Now it is seen that when we're looking at the chemical properties, the aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. Okay? Aldehydes, they are going to be more reactive than ketones. Now, why this is happening? Let's just see how or what are the reasons which we can give behind this. The first, let's compare the aliphatic aldehydes and ketones. When we are comparing the aliphatic aldehydes and ketones, in this case, the first reason which we give, that is the inductive effect. Okay? Now over here it is seen that the most common type of reactions which the aldehyde group or the carbonyl group they are going to undergo when we will do all the reactions, the most common type of reactions which they are going to undergo, they are the addition reactions, right? Now by addition reactions, why addition reactions? Because there is a C double bond O which is present. Although these addition reactions, they are going to be quite different than C double bond C. Why? Because when we are talking of addition reactions over here, in case of C double bond O, oxygen being more electronegative, the electrons they are going to get delocalized to oxygen, while the oxygen that is going to get a negative charge. So that we will discuss later. Now over here when we are talking of inductive effect, it is seen that the addition of any nucleophile. In addition, also the most common type of addition reactions which they are going to undergo is the nucleophilic addition reactions. Okay? So whenever any addition of a nucleophile is taking place around the carbonyl, the reaction will depend upon the magnitude of the positive charge. कितना magnitude positive charge का है on carbon, on that the reaction that is going to depend upon. So if we're taking say formaldehyde, right? In this case, what is going to happen? The lone pair of electrons, they get attracted towards the oxygen. So there is a negative charge over here, there is a positive charge over here. Both the hydrogens which are present, they are not electron releasing. So the positive charge over here is going to be intensified. This is going to show maximum susceptibility towards the addition reactions, right? So any nucleophile which is negatively charged, which is approaching the carbonyl group, will easily come and attack at this carbon atom because of the high positive charge which is present on this carbon atom. But if in case we have one electron releasing group which is present as in case of aldehydes, right? So what is this going to do over here? Again, this is getting a negative charge, this is getting a positive charge. This methyl group is going to donate its electrons on the positive charge, thereby making the intensity of the positive charge lower. Okay, because if electrons are being released, so ये neutralize हो जाएगा. The intensity of the positive charge that decreases. So this is going to show less reactivity with respect to formaldehyde. And if you're taking ketones, in case of ketones, there are two alkyl groups which are present, isn't it? So this is also going to release the electrons due to plus side effect. This is also going to release the electrons, so the positive charge on the carbon that is becoming more neutralized. And the intensity of the positive charge still decreases further. Therefore, the reactivity of ketones towards nucleophilic substitution, that is going to be again less. ठीक है, यहाँ पे no alkyl group is present, यहाँ पे one alkyl group is present, वहाँ पे 2 alkyl groups are present, so the reactivity that will keep on decreasing. Now the second effect which is going to hinder the nucleophilic substitution in case of ketones, that is the steric effect. Steric hindrance is going to take place. So again, if you're looking at formaldehyde over here, in case of formaldehyde, both the hydrogens which are present, they are going to be smaller groups. Because they are smaller groups, so the incoming nucleophile which is going to form one addition product over here, that is going to become easier. Because generally, if you see how the reactions they are going to take place, this is going to get a slight positive charge, this is going to get a slight negative charge, such that the nucleophile that will go and attack at the carbon atom. So if the carbon atom is already having smaller groups, the attack of nucleophile that will become very, very simple, isn't it? But if there are bulkier groups present over here, the attack of the nucleophile cannot take place easily, because these two bulkier groups, as in case of ketones, they are going to offer hindrance to the incoming nucleophile. And this hindrance, that is known as steric hindrance. The hindrance due to the bulkier group which are present, that is known as steric hindrance. Again, the reactivity will follow the same order. That is, formaldehyde that is going to be more reactive than aldehydes, and then ketones due to steric hindrance. So both inductive effect and steric effect, they both contribute to the aspect that the ketones, they are going to be less reactive than aliphatic aldehydes. ठीक है? Now in case of aromatic carbonyl compounds, what is the R group present going to do? If you're taking any, let's say we are taking over here the second type, which are aromatic compounds. Now in this case, you know that if there is an alkyl group present, okay, if there is a CH3 group present over here, this CH3 group, that is, or OCH3 group which is present, that is going to withdraw electrons from the benzene ring. So in aromatic compounds, if minus R group is present, what is minus R group? There are two types of groups which may be present. If minus R group is present, minus R group is electron withdrawing groups which are going to withdraw electrons. This is going to increase the reactivity. And if plus R group is present, plus R is electron donating groups. These are going to decrease the reactivity. So if there are plus R groups, electron donating groups present, that will decrease the reactivity. So in that case, if we are having CH2CHO, an aldehydic group which is present, in this case the aldehydic group that is going to have the maximum reactivity because of the CH2 group present over here. But if the aldehydic group is directly attached to the benzene ring, the reactivity that is going to decrease. And if there is a ketone which is present, the reactivity will still decrease further. So this is going to be the order of reactivity for aromatic compounds. Okay? And if there are two benzene rings present, then it will further decrease the reactivity. So we say that carbonyl group is going to be a highly polar group So let's just go on to the mechanism of the addition reactions over here. So when we're talking of mechanism of nucleophilic addition reaction, as I just told you that over here the carbonyl group is present, the electrons, they will be attracted more towards oxygen because of the electronegative nature, and plus nucleophile, as carbon is getting a positive charge, the nucleophile will go and attack at the carbon atom. This step of the reaction, that is going to be a slow step and the rate determining step over here. So over here we are going to get an intermediate anion of the time we are getting an intermediate anion over here, and this is going to now add up an electrophile which is positively charged. So I am taking over here H positive. It may be any other electrophile which is present with the attacking reagent, and this electrophile will go and attack at the oxygen, and the step over here is going to be a fast step. So what are we getting over here? We are going to get an addition product again of this type. So this is going to be the mechanism. Rate determining step is the first step over here, and as you can see that there are two species which are present in the rate determining step. Therefore the kinetics of this reaction, that is going to be a second order kinetics. Okay? Now if the attacking nucleophiles are weak, first category or first point, we are saying that if the attacking nucleophiles are weak, like for example we have ammonia and its derivatives. Ammonia and its derivatives may be urea, okay? It may be hydroxylamine. So these are the derivatives of ammonia. In this case, the reactions of aldehydes and ketones, they are going to be carried out in acidic medium, right? So reaction over here will be carried out in acidic medium, and such reactions, they are known as acid catalyzed nucleophilic addition reactions. Right? Acid catalyzed nucleophilic addition reactions. Now another point of similarity between the aldehydes and ketone is that hydrogen atom is always going to be attached at the alpha carbon atom, right? Alpha carbon atom, that is going to be reactive. So if there is a hydrogen which is attached to the alpha carbon atom, that is going to be the most reactive, and the release of that hydrogen, that is going to be very easy. So let's explain this over here. If you are having any compound of this type, C double bond O, right, and we are having over here one oxygen, in presence of, if the hydrogen over here which has to be released, it will be this hydrogen which can be easily released, because if this is the carbon atom with the functional group, this is going to be the alpha carbon atom, and this is the alpha hydrogen over here. Okay? So this is the structure. Now this structure which is formed over here, it is going to bear a negative charge on the carbon. Because of release of this H positive from here, it will leave its electrons back, so this carbon is going to get a negative charge. Now this is going to be resonantly stabilized, right? How resonantly stabilized? Because this can go here and this can come here. ठीक है? So what do we have over here? यहाँ पे ये O लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. इसको हटा दो. This is not required. Because we're just doing the carbonyl group, so that is not required, right? So this is going to be resonantly stabilized over here. What are we going to get over here? We will get C, double bond C, oxygen with a negative charge, and this. Now because this is a stable anion which is being formed over here, this can easily lose H positive, as this is going to be a reversible reaction. Right? तो अगर products ज़्यादा stable होता है तो आपको पता है कि reaction will always go in the forward direction. अब ये जो product यहाँ पे बन रहा है, that is resonantly stabilized. Because it is stabilized, therefore this will always have a tendency to lose this proton from here, which is attached to the alpha carbon atom. Right? Now over here, this is known as an enolate arrangement. Enolate means en, right? And O negative, which is O8. So this is known as an enolate arrangement, and the anion which is formed over here, this is known as enolate anion. Okay, so let's first do we are going to again do two types of reactions over here. The first kind of reactions which we will do the reactions which are common to both aldehydes and ketones, and then we will do those reactions which are dissimilar in aldehydes and ketones. So let's go on to the first type of reactions common to aldehydes and ketones. So we're discussing these reactions. Over here we are going to do two types of reactions. So let's go on to the first one. The first type of reactions which we are going to do, they are substitution reactions of the alkyl group. Substitution reactions of the alkyl group. The first reaction which we will do over here is the halogenation reaction, right? Now over here we are going to react an aldehyde with chlorine. Remember, these are reactions common to aldehydes and ketones. The only difference is that ketones, they are going to be less reactive than aldehydes. So in case of ketones, we might be needing certain special reagents which are going to activate the ketone towards nucleophilic substitution. Okay. So chlorine के साथ aldehyde को अगर हम लोग react करते हैं in presence of CH3COOH in acidic medium, the alpha hydrogen which is present over here, that is going to be substituted. It is always the alpha hydrogen which is going to be more susceptible towards substitution than the next hydrogen. So if this is a functional group, this is the alpha carbon atom, this is going to be the alpha hydrogen over here. So we're going to get a product of the type Cl, CH2, CHO and plus HCl. Now if we're doing the same reaction in axis of chlorine, CH3CHO plus Cl2, but we are doing the reaction in basic medium. We will see that all the three hydrogens over here, they are going to be substituted such that we get CCl3 CHO plus 3HCl, right? And if we're taking a ketone over here, again we are taking over here axis of chlorine, then one of the carbon, as you can see that there are two alpha carbons over here, so there are 6 hydrogens, 6 alpha hydrogens. One of the carbon, first of all, that can be easily substituted, so we can get a compound like that, CCl3 COCH3. Okay? Now if over here we are taking acetone and we are taking over here not axis of chlorine, here only chlorine. In this case, it will be seen that we are going to get two types of products. We are going to get a mixture of two products over here. One in which one of the hydrogens gets substituted. This is alpha chloroacetone. Common name of this is alpha chloroacetone. And if both the chlorines they are substituted, that is another kind of product which we can get over here. CH3COCHCl2. This is known as alpha dichloroacetone. Alpha dichloroacetone, right? Now, if we have a compound of the type cyclohexanone, this is known as cyclohexanone. In this case, this is the alpha carbon atom which is present. So the hydrogen of this that is going to be substituted. We are doing the reaction in a basic medium over here. So this is the kind of product which we are going to get. Okay, and if we are having over here a compound of the type the IUPAC name of this is going to be 1-cyclohexyl propanone. 1-cyclohexyl propanone. We are doing the bromination of this in presence of NaOH. Again, remember, this is going to be the alpha carbon atom over here. Okay? So alpha carbon atom is going to be substituted. The product which we will get is what is going to be the IUPAC name? 1-cyclohexyl 2,2-dibromopropanone. Right? Now generally it is seen that whenever we are going to do the halogenation is mostly facilitated in basic medium. ठीक है? So mostly जो होती है ये halogenation that is going to take place in basic medium. Okay? Then the second type of reactions which we are going to do over here, they are haloform reaction, very important. Now this second type of reaction which we are discussing, that is haloform reaction. This haloform reaction is a specific reaction of methyl ketones. By methyl ketones we mean that with C double bond O there should be one CH3 present. So this type of a reaction or haloform reaction can only be given by the following compounds. This is also taken as a test for methyl ketones. Apart from methyl ketones, acetaldehyde, that is CH3CHO. So as you can see that there is a CH3 group attached to the carbonyl carbon atom. So acetaldehyde that gives this test. Acetone. Acetone has the formula CH3COCH3. Again there is CH3 methyl group which is present next to the carbonyl. So this is going to give us haloform reaction, and in fact all the methyl ketones they are going to give this test. All the methyl ketones are going to give this test. So जैसे अगर suppose we have CH3, CH2, CO, CH2, CH3, you can see that with CO that there is no CH3 group present. This is not going to give the haloform test. This is one very typical kind of a question which comes in your competitions. Which of the following will undergo or which of the following will give haloform test? So for any compound to give haloform test, this CH3 group, the methyl group, should be present adjacent to the carbonyl group. So you can see over here there's one methyl group present with C double bond O. Over here also there's a methyl group present with C double bond O. All the methyl ketones which have at least one methyl group present. But if in case there is no methyl group present, then that is not going to give this test. Okay? तो एक CH3 present होना जरूरी है. So for that matter, if we take acetophenone, so यहाँ पे भी एक CH3 group is present with CO. This is also going to give this test. समझ आ गया? So ये एक criteria रहता है for the haloform test, which you need to remember. And this is a very common question which we get. So let's go on to the reaction. We are taking over here a methyl ketone, right? This is going to react with a halogen. We are reacting this in presence of an alkali. When we are going to get over here all these three hydrogens, they are going to be substituted by the halogen, ठीक है? Plus generally this test is done with iodine, because when we do the test with iodine we get iodoform, and that iodoform has a yellow color. That yellow color that gives us a test for the methyl group present with the C double bond O. Okay, so we're taking this reaction. Let's take the reaction with acetone. Okay, and we are taking the reaction with sodium hypohalide, sodium hypoiodide, NaOI. This is known as sodium hypoiodide. What is going to happen? All these three hydrogens, they are going to be substituted by iodine, and we are going to get over here plus 3NaOH. Now, next in the second step, we are going to react the product which we have got in the first step with an alkali. So we are going to react this with NaOH over here, when we will get a yellow precipitate of iodoform. Okay, and with this we are going to get sodium acetate. CH3COONA. Okay, so this is the test. The yellow color of this iodoform, that is going to be a test for the CH3O group. So this is a test for CH3CO group, methyl ketone. Right? Now over here, when we are talking of relative reactivity of what is going to be formed over here as the halide, it is seen that the stability of order of stability of the halide, that is going to be CCl3 negative, that is going to be most stable, then CF3 negative, then CBr3 negative, this is going to be the order of stability of the anions which are formed over here. So this test, apart from acetaldehyde, acetone, methyl ketones, it is seen that some of the alcohols like ethyl alcohol, and a few of secondary alcohols which on oxidation give methyl ketones. All those secondary alcohols which on oxidation gives methyl ketones, they also give this test. Okay? So this is the second type of reaction which we have done over here, haloform reaction, which are specific reactions for methyl ketones and hence taken as a test for the presence of methyl ketone in a compound. The third type of reaction which we are going to do, that is oxidation with selenium dioxide. Oxidation by selenium dioxide. So over here we are taking an acetaldehyde CH3CHO. When we oxidize it with selenium dioxide, we are going to get over here glyoxal. Both these carbons over here, they are going to get oxidized, and more specifically the alpha carbon which is going to get oxidized. So the product which we have over here is right. So this is the kind of product which we will get. This is known as glyoxal. This is going to be the complete reaction, okay? Or if we are taking any compound of the type HCH2, C double bond O, CH2, CH3, right? We are taking a ketone over here, so it is going to be this and this. It's going to be this carbon atom which is going to get oxidized. So what are we going to get as a product over here? This is the product which we are going to get over here, and this is known as methyl glyoxal. Methyl glyoxal. ठीक है? Now, if we are taking over here a cyclohexanone, so at the alpha carbon atom, there is going to be oxidation which will take place. The reaction we are doing in presence of water. The product which we are going to get over here is this. This is known as cyclohex 1,2-dione. Cyclohex 1,2-dione. ठीक है? So you can see that in all the three, the reactions, they are going to be of the same type. It is the alpha carbon atom which is getting oxidized, and C double bond O is going to be present at the alpha carbon atom. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे चाहे आप इसके साथ C double bond O लगा दो, चाहे इसके साथ लगा दो, it is the same thing. Similarly, यहाँ पे आप double bond चाहे इसके साथ लगा दो, चाहे इसके साथ लगा दो, it is going to be the same thing. Because both are alpha, but only one of it is going to get oxidized, not both. Right? So these are the first type of reactions which we've done, substitution reactions of the alkyl group. Let's go on to the second type of reactions, reactions of the carbonyl group. Reactions of the carbonyl group. The first reactions which we are doing over here, they are addition reactions. Okay, so let's do number one, addition of hydrogen or reduction reactions. Whenever we are adding hydrogen, they are known as reduction reactions. In this case, aldehydes, they are going to be reduced to alcohols, and ketones will be reduced to secondary alcohols. Okay? So let's see what we've already done this reaction in the methods of preparation of alcohols. If this is the aldehyde which we are taking and we are adding hydrogen in presence of any catalyst like nickel, palladium, platinum, we are using any of the catalyst, one of the hydrogen will attack at this carbon atom and the second hydrogen will attack at this carbon atom, such that we have over here the production of primary alcohol. Okay? Or this may also be written as RCH2OH. Let's take an example. We are taking CH3, C double bond O, H plus hydrogen in presence of nickel and palladium. This is going to give us CH3, CH2OH. So 1 degree hydrogen or a primary, alcohol is going to be produced. If we're taking a ketone over here, let's take an example of acetone. We are going to get over here a secondary alcohol. So we have CH3, CH3 and OH and H also. CHOH. Okay? So we aldehydes are going to give us primary and ketones are going to give us tertiary, secondary. We can also use other reducing agents than this. We can use lithium aluminum hydride. We can also use sodium borohydride, which behave as reducing agents. Now when we're talking of reduction reactions, although we know that addition of hydrogen is known as reduction, but reduction reactions, they are generally taking place with the help of nascent hydrogen. So the second type of reactions which we will discuss over here, they are the reduction reactions. Now reagents which produce nascent hydrogen, they are going to be used over here. And what are those reagents? It may be zinc and acetic acid. Okay? This can be used as a reducing agent. We can use sodium and ethyl alcohol. Sodium and ethyl alcohol can be used. We can use lithium aluminum hydride. We can use sodium borohydride. So all of these, they are again going to reduce the aldehydes into primary alcohols and ketones into secondary alcohols. The only difference is that over here, instead of using molecular hydrogen, we are going to use nascent hydrogen. Okay? So this is going to give us what? CH2OH. We can use any of the reducing agents which I have mentioned above. It can be lithium aluminum hydride, it can be sodium borohydride as well. So if you're taking a ketone over here, right, this is going to give us what? A secondary alcohol. Ketone will give us secondary, and if we have acrolein, that is, in this case, the double bond, if present in the carbon chain, and we are using lithium aluminum hydride as a reducing agent, that double bond will not be changed. So, if we are having over here acrolein, okay, and this in presence of lithium aluminum hydride, the double bond in acrolein, that is not going to be changed. The reaction that is going to take place in acidic medium, it is going to be only the CHO group which is going to be changed. So we have CH2 double bond CH, CH2OH. This is known as allyl alcohol. Okay, is it clear? So if you're using lithium aluminum hydride, the double bond that is going to remain as it is. So unsaturated aldehydes, they can be reduced to unsaturated alcohols without affecting the double bond in presence of reducing agents like lithium aluminum hydride and dry ether, or sodium borohydride in alcohol. That is another reducing agent which we can use over here. Okay? Now catalytic hydrogenation, if we are taking, that is however going to change the double bond. So let's take an example over here in which we are using different reducing agents and what are going to be the different products which we have. This is an important concept which we are discussing. If we are using the reducing agent as lithium aluminium hydride, the product which we will get is CH3CH double bond CH CH2OH. The double bond is not going to change. But if we are using over here hydrogen in presence of nickel, catalytic hydrogenation if we are doing, then the double bond over here, that is going to be abolished, such that we get a normal butanol. Okay? So if there is a double bond present in your compound and the reagent given is lithium aluminium hydride, then the double bond is not affected. But if you are taking nickel, then even the double bond, that is going to be reduced. So this is going to be the difference in both the reactions. Is it clear? And if we are taking a cyclic compound over here, right, and we are using over here hydrogen and nickel, the double bond will also be reduced, such that the product which we are going to get is cyclohexanol. And if we are doing the same reaction with sodium borohydride, the double bond will remain unaffected, giving us cyclohex 3-ene-1-ol. Cyclohex 3-ene-1-ol. Right? And if we are taking a dicyclohexyl ketone of the type, this is dicyclohexyl ketone, and we are reacting this in presence of sodium borohydride. What is going to be our product? It is only the double bond O which is getting converted into OH. So this is dicyclohexyl methanol. Okay? So now I have taken different reactants over here, but the same kind of reaction. It is only the C double bond O which is going to be hit. Rest is going to remain the same if we are taking lithium aluminium hydride or we are taking sodium borohydride. But if in case there is a double bond and we are doing the catalytic hydrogenation, in that case both the double bond and the double bond O, C double bond C and C double bond O, both are going to be produced. Okay? So ये difference आपने याद रखना है. This is very important concept which we've done over here. Then next we are going to do the third type of reaction over here, reduction to hydrocarbons. The third reactions, reduction to hydrocarbons. Now over here the C double bond O, that is going to get reduced to CH2. So this is going to be the reaction to methylene group over here, and the reducing agents which we can use is zinc and mercury amalgam in presence of HCl. If you are using this reducing agent, the reaction that is going to be known as Clemmensen reduction, very important from your board's point of view, Clemmensen's reduction. Or we can use over here HI in presence of red phosphorus at 150 degrees Celsius. The temperature maintained is 150 degrees Celsius. Or we can use hydrazine. This is hydrazine in presence of an alkali. So we are taking over here an alkali KOH, and the reaction takes place at 180 to 200 degrees Celsius. Again, this is an important reaction. The reaction that is known as Wolff-Kishner reaction. In all the cases, Wolff-Kishner reaction, in all the cases you will see that the products, they are going to be same. It's only the name is going to be different because different scientists, they had given the reaction. So let's go on to the first type, Clemmensen reduction. The reducing agents which we are using is zinc mercury amalgam in presence of concentrated H2 concentrated HCl. So we're taking an aldehyde. We are going to get a hydrocarbon with same number of carbon atoms present in the reactant. So we will get CH3 and CH3. Okay? And if you're taking a ketone over here, then again we will get a hydrocarbon with the same number of carbon atoms as present in the reactant. Both are going to be converted into this thing. Okay. Now remember that Clemmensen reduction is not applicable to keto alcohols. Keto alcohols means that those compounds in which both keto and OH group they are attached. So Clemmensen reduction is not applicable to those. They are not applicable to unsaturated cyclic ketones. Unsaturated cyclic ketones means that we are having a cyclic compound with a ketone and which has a double bond present in it. For example, if we are having a compound like this. So, Clemmensen reduction is not even applicable to such kind of compounds. And it is not applicable to alpha hydroxy ketones. They are same keto alcohols only. Alpha hydroxy ketones means that the OH group that is going to be attached at the carbon atom, at the alpha carbon atom. So for these also Clemmensen reduction, this is not possible. Okay? Is it clear? Now when we have alcoholic carbonyl compounds, it is the alcohol which is going to undergo reduction. Please remember this. So this is an exception to Clemmensen reduction which we are doing over here. See, now when you go to sit for your competitions, you are not going to get very simple kind of reactions. You are going to get complicated kind of reactions. Over here, we are using the same reagent when we are going to do the following reactions, but we are using a different kind of compound. The reactant is different. So as we have mentioned over here that Clemmensen reduction में keto alcohols की reduction we cannot do, unsaturated cyclic ketones की reduction we cannot do, and we cannot do the reduction of those compounds in which the OH group that is present at the alpha carbon atom. ठीक है? So how are we going to? What is going to happen if we have compounds like this? What is going to be reduced if it is not the ketone? It is going to be the hydroxy group which is going to be reduced over here. So let's see what is the kind of reaction which we have. Let's take a compound of this type. Right? If this is the type of compound which we have over here, you will see that this does not fall in either of these categories. So this can be reduced easily. But at the same time, the OH is going to get substituted because of the presence of concentrated HCl which we are using. So we have zinc and Hd in presence of concentrated HCl. This is going to be our product. Because this compound is not following in any of these categories. Okay? It's only the substitution which is happening because of the concentrated HCl which is present, so OH is going to get substituted. Now if we have a compound like this, We are using the same reagents over here in presence of concentrated HCl. Over here, because we are using concentrated HCl, NO2 is getting reduced to NH2 and this is getting reduced to the CH3 group. So the compound which we are going to get over here is going to be this. ठीक है, डिफरेंस समझ आया आपको? अब ये वाली जो रिडक्शन हो रही है वो क्यों हो रही है, सॉरी ये वाली जो सब्स्टिट्यूशन हो रही है वो क्यों हो रही है? बिकॉज ऑफ कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड HCl. ये वाली जो रिडक्शन हो रही है वो क्यों हो रही है? अगेन ड्यू टू कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड HCl. ZnHG जो है वो इसको रिड्यूस कर रहा है इनटू द मिथाइल ग्रुप इन बोथ द केसेस. Okay, so this is Clemmensen reduction. Let's go on to the second kind of reduction, which is Wolff-Kishner reduction. Second type of reductions which we are doing over here that is Wolff-Kishner reduction. Over here we are going to use hydrazine. So let's see what is happening over here. We're taking an aldehyde. So C double bond O, that is going to be reduced to the reaction that is taking in presence of KOH at 200 degrees centigrade. C double bond O, that is going to get reduced to the CH2 group. So what are we going to get over here? RC and H. So we're getting the hydrocarbon. ठीक है? और इसके साथ you will get nitrogen plus H2O. Right? Then we go on to okay, we are taking over here a ketone now. Again, in presence of hydrazine, KOH at 200 degrees centigrade, what are we going to get? ठीक है, कुछ भी ले लो आप. अब हम MPV reduction करते हैं यहाँ पे. MPV again is a reagent which we can use over here. So we're taking a cyclic, this thing. This is cyclohexenone. We are using a reagent. Now in this case, instead of getting a hydrocarbon, we are going to get an alcohol. So we have this is cyclohexene-1-ol. Is it clear? So these are the type of reactions which we are going to do today. Now tomorrow we are going to do the second kind of reactions which are present over here, that is replacement of the carbonyl oxygen. Till now the carbonyl oxygen that was intact. सिर्फ यहाँ पे we were doing the reduction reactions, and now the reactions which we are going to do tomorrow, in that we are going to substitute the carbonyl oxygen. Okay.